Okay, so we're going to get started on hypothesis testing for a population proportion. And so the concept where we start with this, okay, we've done our introduction, our basic introing of what a hypothesis test does. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of doing it. So the question is, can virtual reality be used to enhance education? So a 2016 survey of teachers that Samsung conducted said 85% of them said that virtual reality in the classroom would have a positive effect on education. Now, one educational specialist out there believes that the percentage is actually now closer to 90% or more than 90% since virtual reality equipment has become more available. So 2016, there was some availability, now it's become more readily accessible and things of that nature. So she sampled 500 teachers and finds that 471 of them believe that virtual reality would have a positive effect. So based on the fact that she got 471 out of this 500, is that enough for us to state that the proportion of teachers or the percentage of teachers that think virtual reality would have a positive effect is now more than 90%, which would be. So this is a setup that would allow us to do a hypothesis test about a proportion, okay? We'll be looking at means over in a different section. So a couple of things for notation. P is population proportion, okay? So this is the individuals that are in a specific category. So this would be the 0.85 of the teacher survey back in 2016. X is the number of individuals in the sample who qualify for a particular thing. So this would be our 471. N is your sample size. So that would be the 500. And then P hat is what we call the sample proportion. So this would be X over N. So for that example that we were just looking at, it would be the 471 out of the 500. Now, when we're doing these hypothesis tests on population proportions, there are a couple of things we do have to assume. So we've got the method for doing these on requires a couple of things. We do have to have that it's approximately normal. So here's a couple of things that we have to assume to make sure this is going to happen. Number one, that we're doing a simple random sample. So we're not doing a convenient sample or anything like that that might give us biased data. The population is at least 20 times as large as the sample. So for that one about the teachers, are we assuming that there are 20 times more than the 500 teachers that were in the survey? The items in the population are in two categories. So again, going back to the one about virtual reality, the ones that say, yes, virtual reality would be better, and the ones that are like, I don't think it would necessarily make it better. It might just keep it the same. And then the values of N P naught and N times 1 minus P naught are both at least 10. And we saw that when we did our central limit theorems for population proportion, okay? So we're going to take a look at the first part of an example here. In one of the other videos, we'll finish up this example. So it says in a simple random sample of size 58. So I've got my size is 58. I have 36 individuals are in the category of interest. Compute a sample proportion P hat. Okay, so P hat we said was X over N. X is going to be the number that are in the category that we want. So in this case, 36. N is the number in the sample. So this would be 36 out of 58. And when we divide that down and it has to go to 3 decimal places, we're going to get 0.621. Okay. So we're now going to do, are the assumptions for the hypothesis test satisfied? We did have that it was simple random. Whatever this is, we kind of have to assume that there is more than 20 times that. We do have the two things, either they're in this category of 36 individuals or they're not. And so now we have that this 58 times this 0.621, okay, which is going to come out to be 36, because that's just this multiplication back up again. And 58 times 1 minus 0.621, which is 58 times 0.379. This is going to come out to be about 22. Since both of these are greater than 10, then yes, we have met the qualifications to be able to do a hypothesis test.